Hi, so while it's come to me, I'm going to get it recorded and uploaded quickly, okay? More on the path to healing. Understanding yourself, accepting yourself, and then the next level of actually liking yourself and celebrating yourself. The path to healing is a lifelong path. It can be rocky at times. It can be smooth. Sometimes it can be like one of those long drives in the roads with the roof down and your hair flying behind you, okay? But either way, you've got to drive it. There's no avoiding it. It's this thing called life. I want to talk about unhelpful emotions that don't serve any purpose, but that we must respect them and we must still ride them. There is fear, shame, embarrassment, cringeworthiness. Sometimes it's a feeling that we all feel within ourselves. Sometimes unhealed other individuals can provoke that in you, and sometimes you get your own intrusive thoughts that come from fuck knows where, way back, okay? And they come out of the blue, and it could be something that happened when you were in, I don't know, year 8 or something 30 years ago, and you think, crikey, where has that bloody come from? I don't give a shit about Joe Bloggs, whoever was in that bloody year. I don't give a fuck, I was a kid, but it still cuts. And things like that stay with you, and where they come from sometimes is nobody's guess, but they often tend to come and make the intrusive thought when you're at your most vulnerable, which is a pain in the ass to say the least, but all told is deeply disturbing and often very traumatic indeed. But whether however you feel about it, you have to feel it and you have to deal with it. And there is nothing as again, it's vibration as well, so you really have to be careful how you deal with your own internal feelings of shame, of self-disgust, of cringiness about yourself. It's an uncomfortable subject, but it is one all of us, and no one is immune, hold in our private thoughts from time to time, and it's not nice. It's a part of shadow work that I think we try and tiptoe and tap dance around as much as possible to try and avoid, but the one that is the most productive and the one that is most pertinent that needs work. Sometimes you cannot have an intrusive thought or a feeling of that for years, for decades, and then sometimes you're having a particularly vulnerable week and it comes in like a sodding tsunami, and you can't, sometimes you struggle to grip the reins of it, and it seems that the more you struggle to grip the reins of it and the deeper it gets. It's like that rabbit hole. It's come out of nowhere, you haven't asked for it, all of a sudden you're a flood of tears in traffic over something Rebecca Smith said to you when you were 11, and it can go on for weeks, months, sometimes when it's really bad, but generally it often hits you when you can really do without it. I often wonder, is it the universe trying to get us to go deeper down, or is it our own fucked upness, or is it something that's being pushed to the forefront that we are being forced to confront? It could be all three of those, couldn't it? But what I want to stress to you is this, and although I felt all of these emotions in the past, and I'm sure at some point in my life I will feel all of them again, and the feeling of shame is really, really toxic inside you. It's really horrible. It's devastating. It's heartbreaking. You break your own heart over it, and it's extraordinarily unwelcome. It's never a time when it's welcome. It doesn't matter how good your life's going, even if you're riding high and you're not doing the shadow work thing, and you've got no bereavements, no heartbreaks, no one's buggered off, no one's lied to you, or no one's done anything, and you're having a good old time, and all of a sudden this thought comes from nowhere. It still takes you down, and it takes you down with force at lightning speed, because we all have a chink in our armour. We all have a vulnerability, but our vulnerability is also our kindness, as our empathy, okay, is our nurturing quality to us, to ourselves, and to those also in need. But our kindness is also our strength. And like I said to you in previous videos, when you break your leg, you don't then smash it further with a sledgy because it hurts you. When you are hurt, you learn to nurture yourself. So the feelings of shame, of feeling awkward, of really being embarrassed by yourself sometimes. It comes from nowhere. Don't beat yourself up even more on it. Stop, look at it, unpick it, unpack it. It is weather, okay? Feel it to heal it. And that sounds like I'm chucking out here a string of cliches, but they are so bloody true. They are so, so true. But don't be ashamed of your shame. Those of you that understand that will understand that. But don't be ashamed of your shame, okay? We're all human. No one is perfect. Social media doesn't bloody help, does it? See, when I was a kid, we didn't really have social media. We had glossy magazines and airbrush models were responsible for teenagers getting fucked up everywhere. Now it's social media. So not only do you get it on magazines, which I don't even know how well they sell these days, given the new sort of climate and whatnot, but social media does a pretty good job of adding to our problems, doesn't it, sometimes? But don't get caught up in how you think everyone else is doing, because a lot of people, I often notice, especially in my community, that when someone starts posting a string of extraordinarily motivational memes, I think, oh shit, what's going down in their home then? And that's often the case. This is my wonderful husband. Oh fuck, you've had a row and you're about to split up. You should have got rid of him years ago, or anything like that. But when it goes very, very quiet for a moment, and all of a sudden, either that or someone's posting how much they really, really, really love their partner. Yeah, you've been cheating. Okay, I'm not going to generalise, but when someone makes a bold statement on something, they're trying to mask something else. A bit like our government, really, but that's another video. So don't be ashamed of your shame, all right? Sit with yourself. This is all part of the understanding yourself, accepting yourself, being okay with yourself, okay, and loving yourself. So when those intrusive thoughts come in, when those old memories come in, and sometimes someone can just do something that's really nasty, okay, and it's random and it comes from nowhere, and they belittle you. I mean, it can happen. Like, I'm going to say how random this is, because this isn't with anybody. Sometimes it's the worst thing is when it comes from complete strangers, and it happens, and it always seems to happen in a week where you're a little vulnerable. It's almost like they can read your vibration, so they can see that chink, so they project their own toxicity because they're struggling too. Okay, not a justification, but an explanation. So you're having a bit of a wobbly week. You're in Asda, just an example, a completely random example. And you dodge a trolley with someone. On a normal day, you're like, oh, right, sorry. Sometimes you can get someone who's really fucking nasty, and it will really take you down. Or you're having a week where you're really struggling, okay, emotionally, and someone you thought was your friend suddenly out of the blue defriends you. You don't know what you've done. You haven't said anything. A couple of days previous, you were fine. You've always been fine. You've never had a falling out with them. And it's a small thing, and it's much more a reflection on them, but it really takes you down emotionally. And it all depends the level of vulnerability you are in at that time of whatever you're dealing with. It can take you down for a week or two. And I don't think people sometimes understand little things they do have big consequences. And they need to really pay heed. Hang on a second. Oh, pea and ham soup. Bit dislodged at the back. That's not good. Anyway, I'll carry on. I'm sorry about that. I just didn't want to die on camera. Don't add to your trauma as it is. If you're still here, well done. Thanks. So sometimes people can do little things and they don't pay attention to how possibly it's going to be received. They are more knee-jerk reaction. So everything you do, you must be mindful of and do it with kindness. Okay, and do think before you do anything, how would that make the person on the receiving end feel? Okay, if you're having a rough week and things are a bit rocky, say so. Say so to your community. I'm having a bit of a wobbly week. Please bear with me. Okay, but sometimes people, they often do random things that are very cavalier to them and they don't give any thought to it, and they do it and it can take you down because of the vibration and the vulnerable state you're in. So and then it makes your self-worth takes a bit more of a temporary nosedive as well, and then you seem to think that the whole world's against you, the whole universe is against you, and then your intrusive thoughts, they start to rack up a bit more, and then it seems like a bloody vicious circle, and it seems to get even worse. But I'll tell you this, you do come out of it. So basically, all I want to say is do not be ashamed of your shame. Own it, Unpick it, unpack it, process it. Say it out loud. Talk to yourself in the kitchen. Speak while you're driving, what have you. Write it down. I'm telling you this. Journal. I'm such an advocate of journaling. Get it down. Write it out. Even if it takes 10 freaking pages and 3 bloody ink pens, get it out. Write it down. Release it, okay? And then leave it where it is. And be kind to yourself. No more sledgy and broken legs. Be kind to yourself in the moments, the hours, and the days after that. And when you start to come out and you lift your energy into a slightly more balanced state and you're progressing on, days get brighter. And then you start waking up excited for really mundane days when you've got no shit planned. You just got builders in and a couple of bills to pay, and the car needs a wash and someone at school needs an email replying to. But when you wake up and you're quite positive and excited for that, and it's really about as mundane as it bloody gets, you're in a state of flow, you're in a state of peace, and that's where you want to keep running on. Okay, there's no end game. Okay, you need to make this experience as fruitful, as positive, and as nurturing as possible. And if you can stay productive, I tell you what, getting a puppy has bloody saved me. Getting out every day, walking in all weathers, -8, sleet, snow, I ain't kidding. That dog's never gone a day without a walk after they've had their jabs. But you go out, and how you start off the walk and how you end the walk can be completely different sometimes. Do little things to nurture you. But if you can nurture you whilst you're nurturing somebody or something else, it can't be bad, can it? It can only be a good thing. So understand yourself, don't beat yourself up, okay? Sit with it. Shame and embarrassment are horrible, but they're unavoidable, and they often come out of nowhere. But they're just part of the fucking process. Love yourself truly. Okay, and even love those slightly embarrassing parts of yourself, because you are wonderful. You're your own universe. Okay, so if you're still here, thanks. Like, share and subscribe if you can. Even if I just amuse you, that'd be really cool. Thank you. I'll get tarot and oracle out in the coming weeks. I need to get my energy a bit balanced. I've had quite a lot going on. I've got 3 kids, dog. Life's pretty busy. Okay, so I don't want it to be right for you. I don't want to just broadcast and trash out to you. Okay, I want a proper good reading for you all. So guys, take care of yourselves, look after yourselves, be kind to yourselves, love yourselves. Mercury retrograde. Mercury, this is the first take on this. I'm not doing another one 12 minutes and 32 seconds in. Love yourself, another. Love you very much. Thank you. See ya.